obviously big news in the last 24 hours for Manchester United. Lenny Yoro through the door, £42 million initial fee, according to Fabrizio Romano, could go as high as 70 million euros. So the low 60s once the add-ons are paid, if he is indeed successful. But it has triggered a lot of rivals. I've seen compilations. I've seen reports that we've held a gun to his head. I've seen reports that he's not very good, actually. After a month of being told, you ain't getting him, he's too good for you. Now suddenly he isn't good enough. I'm going to throw it out to the rivals. Tell me why you're all salty about Man United signing Lenny Yoro.
Not sorry at all. Who says we're sorry, Terry?
Either. I'm not sorry.
Yeah, man.
I just think it's for me, it's just a bit laughable that this has solved the whole issue at Man United, because people are acting like they've just signed Mbappe, bro. It's crazy. They acting like they signed Mbappe. I've seen certain people say, "Oh yeah, look at this guy. Finally, we're serious. This is what I've been waiting for from Ineos." Like, I still think a left back is a heavy priority at your club. I think Luke Shaw is near to near finished, and I keep on forgetting his freaking name. The other left back, man, it starts with an M.
Malacia.
He's also not been seen, so we don't know whether he's training yet or not. But hopefully, he can have a successful season playing his games. But yeah, listen, I think there's other places that you need to tackle before getting too excited. Is my personal opinion. But I think he's a good signing. I think he's a good young talent. That's what he is at the moment, young talent. However, I did hear something yesterday by somebody saying that you lot should loan him, which is pretty good advice, to be honest, that they should loan him. Do a similar thing that we did to Saliba, where you keep him in France and let him grow. And then he comes back, and then he might need a loan.
He starts. I think he starts. I think he starts for United, because I think United centre backs at the moment aren't really that great. And I think at this moment, I think Yoro to himself thought, I'm gonna get game time at United compared to Real Madrid. Even though I love to play at Real Madrid, but I don't think he's gonna get past Rudiger. I don't think he's gonna get past Alaba when he comes back. But for United, he's gonna get 30 games a season minimum 30 league games a season. And look, many of the people that were upset about it were Liverpool fans, obviously, because we were linked with him.
That's another one to add to your list of maybe players that you're going to get. You know what I mean? Just get longer.
Yeah. Obviously, Caicedo and Lavia and you lot are stuck with them. So I'm
Levi Cole was another one. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty happy with the fact that you took our sloppy second. But in terms of Lenny Yoro, when it comes to Liverpool, I'm not really that bothered. Because I think Liverpool at this moment need experienced centre-backs. I think for United is a lot better because they just need quality in their defence, because the defence last season was shocking. Without Lisandro Martinez, they were dead. But now they've actually brought in some quality. A lot of pressure on an 18-year-old Terry, I have to say. Let's see if he steps up to the mark. That's what I've got to say on that.
Listen, I've watched a few of his games back now. I still need to watch more games, to be fair. Games
or clips?
No, but games, as in all actions of him in the game, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you've not watched the game. You've watched clips.
I watched the game back, but it's focusing on him.
So you watched 180 minutes of Lenny Yoro today?
Bro, hold on. When I'm saying I'm watching the game back, it's focusing on him. Yeah, every single clip is focusing on him in the same game. Again,
so you watched 180 minutes of football today about a Man United new signing.
180 minutes. I've watched about 50 minutes, which is what, maybe 4 or 5 games worth, and I've still got more research to do. You know what I'm saying? But from what I'm seeing, no, it's fine, bro. That's fine. From what I'm seeing so far, listen, he looks like a decent player. To be fair, he does look like a decent player, but one-on-one defensively, that's the biggest thing that stuck out to me so far. He looks a bit rash, man. He looks quite rash in terms of his positioning. It don't seem to be the greatest. He goes down quite easily as well in terms of his tackling. The way he tackles as well, the timing on the tackles ain't great so far from what I'm seeing. You know, he looks good in possession, to be fair. Aerially, he looks quite good as well because he's quite tall. But I'm not like, because you know everyone says, oh, this guy's got a lot of talent and obviously Madrid wanted him and that, yeah. I thought, yeah, I'm about to see a madness. I'm not really seeing the hype. In all honesty, I'm not really seeing the hype. Like I said, I've got more games to watch in that year, but right now I'm not really seeing the hype. I can see the age, you know what I'm saying? I can see the potential, but I'm not really convinced at the minute. I'll be real.
He's a very good footballer. He's a very good footballer.
I mean, what I would say is this, and there'll be Man United fans that are going to go, Terry, like, defend your guy. I don't need to. I'm going to let people talk. Sometimes you've got to play the long game on this. Now, nobody is signing an 18-year-old who's a defender and going, finished article. There's never been a finished article defender at 18 in the history of football. Most take until their early to mid-20s to be absolutely on point. All the best defenders ever in the world, none of them were at their peak before 21, 22. So there is years of development still needed in this young man. So, of course, it is going to be possible to go and find clips of him making mistakes. In fact, you could go and get the best 3 centre-backs in the world. Look at Y-Scout. I also use it. And you'll find loads of mistakes. Anyone can put a compilation together, put clown music on it and go, this guy is dead. I actually did it a few times as a bit of a laugh and a joke a few years ago to make out. You could do a foul compilation of Lionel Messi at the best World Cup he ever played in because everyone makes mistakes. So I'm not particularly fussed. I knew that was coming as a Man United fan because whenever we sign somebody, everybody suddenly says they're meaty, they're mid, they're not really that good. Before we sign them, they're rated.
By the way, Terry, I've only started watching the guy today and last night. Before that, when he was linked to Real Madrid, I didn't even know much. All I knew was the hype. That's it.
And I understand that.
Go watch this guy.
And I understand that.
Today's the first time that I've sat down properly.
Yeah, and I think looking Y-Scout's really important. I use it, but it's also important to watch games because what you don't get on Y-Scout, I've been a member using it for 5 or 6 years now, is it doesn't give you I know you can watch the game actions and the things that happen, but it doesn't always tell the full story. We all know watching a football match is different from watching clips, which is different from watching compilations. So I think that's all there. There's a highly talented player, and I'm excited to get him. Where I agree with Saad is any Man United fan that says we're fixed, we're back, we're finishing in front of Arsenal, we might challenge for the league. They're being as ridiculous as some rivals are being salty, and there's no need for that. Man United have done very, very well to get this player. The one thing I'm going to push back and defend is this whole, but you had to pay money to get him. Staffy put out a really good tweet earlier on today, which I retweeted. And I'm glad he did the research. I knew it would exist. I just didn't do the research myself because I didn't have the time. But it shows some articles related to Real Madrid. And it's significant to use Real Madrid because I think would you all agree on the panel that pound for pound, they have the best pull in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So this here shows that when Real Madrid confirmed the addition of the Turkish Messi after hijacking Barcelona's move, Barcelona had to pull out because Real Madrid absolutely gazumped them financially in terms of what they offered the player. Brazilian agent, this is a different story here. This is Brazilian agent Adrian Corey has doubled down on claims that Real Madrid star Vinicius Jr. was a Barcelona fan before he joined Real Madrid. You read more of the article. They made a significantly higher salary offer to the player. Even as far back as Luis Figo, they were able to convince the player to do what he did through money being offered. This idea that United have only got him because of money is crazy, when historically, looking at 3 of the biggest signings imaginable, you've seen all of them have a money motivation behind them. So again, I've just enjoyed seeing the rivals absolutely get ants in their pants, their knickers in a twist, and the dryness around their mouth through the salt that they've... I mean, I am worried about the blood pressure. I'm worried about heart attacks here. I can't believe Man United put a big bid in for a highly talented young player. This is crazy. Everton fans saying, why are you buying a bum from a bum league and a bum team? But they've all just cried their eyes out about Onana leaving, who they signed from the exact same fucking team.
There's a lot of salt out there.
It's so funny to watch. Now, I'm not even stating that this kid is going to become the best centre-back in the world. I've made no such claim. But the reaction from rivals tells me, and I'll give you an example. When we signed Mason Mount last year, what did you all do? Did you laugh and mock us? Yeah. Or did you get salty? You laughed and you mocked us, as an example. You always know when you've signed talent. Doesn't mean they're going to make it. But you know when you've signed talent because it's met with saltiness. People don't get salty when you sign crap. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. So for me, look, there's a lot of work for him to do. My feet are firmly on the ground. But rivals, my word, grow up. It's so funny.
I'm just saying, what I'm saying, Terry, what I'm saying for me is United fans don't think, like you said, Terry, don't think that you signed the finished article. You know what I'm saying? He's got a lot of work to do in his game from what I've been watching so far. Anyway, he's got a lot of work to do. But it's not to say that there's nothing to work with there. There definitely is. I like his attributes because he's tall. Like I said, he's comfortable on the ball. You know, he can cover ground quite quickly as well. But these little bits where he's like I said, diving in, mistiming challenges and that's something that's going to have to get coached out of it. So Ten Hag's got a lot of work to do with it because this is going to be
he's 18 though, like you kind of expect that from 18. I think
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You would expect that, but what I'm saying is you're going to have a lot of people expecting him now to come in and be putting in 10 out of 10 performances because Real Madrid wanted him. When in reality, that's not going to be the case.
I just think people are like, there's a lot of salt on the timelines. I think people are slowly seeing that a sleeping giant maybe waking up, and they've actually got footballing people now, not accountants. If they get De Ligt in, if they get Ugarte in, it's a different Man United now. I'm not saying they're anywhere near challenging, but the Man United last season that conceded more shots than, what was it, Derby County, have now got somewhat of a footballing structure. And I think this project, I don't necessarily know if Ten Hag's the right manager for it, but the signings they are making is definitely putting them on the right track. And like Terry said, you can always tell when you've got a talented player, because the amount of I know I'm not making this around Tottenham, but we got a lot of stick for signing Archie Gray, similar age, did a similar thing last year,
which made no sense because he's a really talented young player, and I saw people doing that, and it made me laugh because he's really talented.
I still think Man United, if they sign De Ligt, I think Lenny Yoro, he won't start week in, week out in the Premier League, but they're in the Europa League, they're in both cups, and you know you need 3 or 4 centre backs now. That's the one thing about Arsenal. If like a few years ago when Saliba got injured, you saw the drop off. Man United now are, in my opinion, I think they're gonna have a good season. I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people.
I think a lot more needs to happen. I mean, if you keep reading the reports, we are looking to sell Lindelof and Maguire. The De Ligt deal's done. We just need to trigger it. So it's likely he still comes in. So I do agree. I don't think Lenny Yoro is going to play every single game, but I think he'll be part of the team. The loaning out thing that Saad mentioned, the only difference between the two is that, if I remember this correctly, Saliba had some issues at home, some family matters that it was part of the reason why he went back. He wanted to be close to his family. So I think you have to look at those scenarios. But yeah,
the only reason why I say to do it for me is because I think it would help with him growing as a player and just, do you know what I mean? It would help, him grow as a player to stay.
And it may. And I think I think we have to assess that at that time. But I do agree with Henry. There are some things you can look at as, we as fans feel you've overpaid for a player, and we also felt that you overpaid for this player 2 years ago. So has anything actually changed? Well, it's too early to. And when I say it's too early to judge, is everything being spent now, everything happening now is a new world. And for me as a Man United fan, I'm drawing a line under what was previously done versus now, because we have new people running the business. So at the end of the day, I'm not concerned about mistakes made in the past, and I'm giving this ownership, this board, I'm giving Ashworth and co. time and consideration to make it work. I'm not going to hold them accountable for the mistakes made by previous people. Imagine you start your new job tomorrow and you're getting disciplined for a mistake your predecessor made. It's ridiculous. So I can't do that. And I've said it in the group chat a few times, and I'll say it again on here. I assess football clubs when it comes to the transfer market on 3 things: how they plan, how they execute, and the fruit what it yields, the fruit it serves up. We can't judge anything we're doing right now based on its yield because they haven't kicked a ball. So the energy is going to be different from assessing other transfers at other clubs. But look, I'm excited about it.